Hey, ladies and gentlemen, boys and berries. Welcome to the Magic Brad Show. And if you're on that platform called YouTube, if you could subscribe to the channel and give a thumbs up if you could. And if you're really ambitious, go ahead and click that notification bell and you'll get some notifications from me or the platform letting you know that I'm gone live. So today we've got a fellow magician friend turned entrepreneur, turned event planner and organizer. He's got an association put together. It's called Accelerated Global Connections. And I was just thinking about it this morning that with our pandemic situation, it has accelerated the globalness of his connections. So let's bring him on, my friend and colleague, Travis Sims. Hey, Travis.
Hi, Brad. Thanks for having me this morning.
Good morning. It is a good morning, too. So how's things going in general with you and your life and your wife? You're way over on the east side of Minneapolis. I'm on the west side, and we don't get to see each other, especially seeing the pandemic and all that stuff. But how's stuff going?
You know, it's going very, very good. It's an interesting time, of course. I miss in-person things a lot, as I'm sure you do. But thank goodness for technology and the ability to still connect with people in a personal level through our screens. So things are very good. Staying busy.
Yeah, it's definitely a shift. I know that I just finished my March 4th Event Planner Expo. Then the COVID thing hit around the 12th or the 19th or something like that. And it was kind of like, what do you mean I can't do any events? And I'm sure with you were doing 6 locally here in Minneapolis, right?
Yeah, and we had just had our 1-year anniversary event, and within 1 month, COVID hit. We had 250 people at that event. It was crazy busy, and yeah, and then I was sitting exactly like you, like, what are you talking about? How are we not doing events? So
Yeah, you were you got all those events. I was very impressed. I mean, I kind of get it because when I pull up it to the event and I see your trailer with all the velvet ropes and all the software and the scanners, and you kind of went all out with this whole thing and changed the whole format of this whole networking thing. It's sort of correct me if I'm wrong, it's like a TED Talk meets meetup kind of thing,
yeah,
networking event, but you got speakers and things in the events.
yeah, that's a good description. My whole thing was that we needed to elevate the quality of networking, that it didn't need to be in basements and dark halls anymore. That we wanted to get them into the sky rises, and we wanted to, get into the country clubs and the golf course and the beautiful co-working spaces, and really have that memorable experience of quality people walking up that red carpet and having just an amazing time the entire time they're there. Make good connections, stay motivated, get referrals, do more business.
Also, the event format, I believe that you're kind of a hybrid kind of guy in that the event format isn't trying to force networking, because some people do that. They like, back in the days, there was a thing called lay tip where they actually fined you for not generating a lead. And it's like, wait a minute, maybe I don't have a lead for a construction guy or something right now. So yours are very comfortable to be at, where you don't have to do networking. You can kind of be a wallflower or fly on the wall and step back. And if you feel like it, then you can. So you've got that ability to kind of make it comfortable for everybody. And then there's the educational aspect that a lot of places don't have. There's a lot of more multiple pitch fest kind of thing where you've got this, I would call it edutainment, because you had me on as a magician. You've had that guy that did the neuro marketing thing. That was fascinating. And the different caliber of people that you got coming in, it's like the small guy to the big guy. It's pretty interesting, the whole blend you've got of all this stuff.
Well, thank you. We wanted the chemistry to be really organic and not feel forced. I've always viewed networking as a place to meet people and start culturing a relationship. It's not a place to start selling. It's right. To really just start the platform to get to know each other. The idea of the education, the motivation, and inspiration is about sharing a learning experience together. And you've been in the event industry a long, long time. And I just think that there's something about that, like if you and I attend something together, it's that instant almost bond. It's like a starting point. We have something to talk about later. It's just a great place to cultivate that beginning relationship.
Also, like you said, you're doing all these events. It gives us the opportunity to meet somebody more than once. Instead of having an annual event or a monthly event, you had 6 events locally here going on every month. So a person gets the opportunity to meet someone multiple times, and it takes, what do they say, 7 to 30 exposures now before you even want to talk to the person. So you've created like a family where people see each other in passing at different, oh yeah, I was over at Minnetonka, oh, I was over in Woodbury. You get to see each other multiple times.
Yeah, it really is. AGC has become a community, and people, and we love to get together. We love to help each other. It's really, truly a network or a team type mindset. And you get to see people multiple times at events, and then pretty soon it's like, hey, let's grab coffee, or let's set up a one-to-one or face-to-face Zoom, so that we can get to know each other better. And before you know it, there's business or there's referrals happening.
Now you've branched out too. It's not just Minneapolis, because like I got this thing right here that just came in from California.
Hi, Cindy.
Cindy Lee. She loves the Magic Brad Show. So, because what happened with the COVID thing, all of a sudden you can't have events, so you jumped right into the whole digital element of being broader. I mean, that's your bigger vision anyways, the accelerated global connections.
Yes.
It sort of forced you to jump right into the next phase. And now how many states are you in now?
We're currently in 6 states with about 15 events per month. And, it accelerated the growth tremendously. And it's because previous to COVID, we were in an in-person environment. I mean, you had to physically walk in the room, but now you can join us through social media in our Facebook group, which has, over 1,700 professionals networking daily. You can join us at that virtual event and then jump in our Zoom room to network with our members. And so it's allowed us to start bringing, members and new areas for AGC from around the country.
Let me get this up here too. That's exactly how you do it right there. You can join AGC. You sent some other stuff in the private chat I want to post up here so that I can.
We've got a big event coming up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I don't want to lead too far, so I'll let you.
Oh, that's good. Go ahead and talk about that while I do.
Okay, so all you got to do is copy and paste that information into the comments. And so we've got a big event coming up. We're celebrating our birthday, our two-year anniversary. One of those being in a worldwide pandemic. And so this event will be huge. I mean, we're talking 100 plus people coming together on Zoom. It will only be on Zoom. Typically, we broadcast on social media, and then we go to Zoom for the after event. But this will only be on Zoom. So you do need to register. The good news is that we're going to give you a free ticket. So if you're watching the Magic Brad Show today, just go to the link or joinagc.com. It's the very first event going to come up. It's this Wednesday from 3 to 5 p.m. And you have a free ticket. Just register as a non-member if you're a guest. And I'd love to, if it's okay, Brad, to share kind of what to expect. Why do they want to come? Is that all right?
Absolutely, because I think that your the format that you've created is unique to most networking events. I mean, there a lot of them, even like live events, everybody gets to talk about their thing. But the reality in that situation is I'm here promoting my thing, and now I got to hear 50 things from other people. It is kind of interesting hearing all those things, but it really, if you take, say you got 50 people in the room and 50 people do their pitch, that's 50 times 50. That's a lot of information. So
Yes.
It's kind of nice to have a focal point the way that you do it. But the anniversary thing, is there going to be a speaker there, or is it going to be just more casual?
Yeah, there will be actually 2 speakers. And so during this 2-hour event, the first portion is going to be what we call roulette style networking. And so it is on Zoom. There's 100 people attending, but it would be difficult, like you said, to sit for 100 minutes listening to everyone share their thing. So we're going to do this roulette style where we'll have breakout rooms, and we'll keep rotating those rooms, allowing you to really connect and meet with a lot of people and get to know them, be able to get their information and follow up with them afterwards. Following the roulette networking, we've got 2 great speakers, starting off with Coach Lois Kofi coming in from California. She's going to be sharing the pandemic pivot of 2020, how she took her fully in-person business and transformed it into that online technology, and how she really grew during the pandemic. And then lastly, Amy Tyson is going to be sharing what to expect after a year of unexpected, like what's coming in 2021. And so she's just a great, she's one of my closest advisors, and I'm able to tap into her knowledge and expertise. And so she's in feng shui, and it's going to be a really interesting talk. So we'll have the networking and the talks, and then the vision for where AGC is headed for the next year.
Well, me being in the event business, like we were talking earlier in the green room, when I was a little kid, I was doing like fundraisers for muscular dystrophy, just because, you know, Casey Jones was the local kids show here, and they had this muscular dystrophy kit. And I got the kit, I mailed in for it, and I got the kit, and it taught me how to do a fundraiser when I was like 8 or 10 years old. And looking at your event, it's very different than most events. And this whole COVID thing, you've really managed to sort of acclimate to the situation. Because for me, I'm pretty innovative too, but man, it just kind of, it's like I got pushed out of an airplane without a parachute. And I'm going like, what am I going to, because everything was events and now they're gone. But you really, it seemed like didn't skip a beat.
Well, I'm thrilled that it looked that well from the outside, because, you know, just like everyone, no one knows what's really happening behind the curtain. And it was a shock to the system of like, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? We've got all these events, we have all this registration, we have all these members. And my first focus was to take care of our current customers, like the ones who have already paid us, or who are currently paying us. You know, how do we continue to pour into them, create value, make sure that they are still able to keep their business open, that they're able to pay their mortgage, that they're able to keep food on the table. I mean, you know, small business and entrepreneurs have been hit tremendously hard during this pandemic. And then it was starting to turn the corner. It's like, all right, we're going to be in this a little while. That curve they were talking about flattening, right, we haven't seen it flatten yet. So we're going to be in this a little while. And how do we continue to now not only take care of our current customers, but to continue to grow our organization? And it just, this last half of the year has been really focused on growing from here.
Well, watching from the outside, it's very impressive what you've been doing, because I know that I'm experiencing the same thing, and the way that you've kind of acclimated to this situation, it's definitely a shock, you know, the way that all this happened. And I commend you for helping the owner-operator type business, because we do get overlooked. A lot of people, they look at these, you know, a big company, they're going to get this, what do they call it? That stimulus type package.
Stimulus, yep.
Well, the little guy that, you know, has his own business like a magician doing magic shows, it's like, he don't need any help. He's a magician. But we do need some help, at least.
Yes.
Support, you know?
Yeah, you know, that happens time and time again. And I remember, you know, the bailouts in the auto industry back in the recession of 2008 and all that. And then even this time, you know, we've seen major companies taking PPP and stimulus and bailouts and things. And certainly that does help the employees and the general workers, right? I mean, that's needed, and I'm not going to jump into politics at all. However, we still need to focus on people like us that are like, you know what, I've been in this industry for 15 years. And for something to completely wipe it out like it has, so I know that all the people that have networked before COVID understand the value of networking and insulating themselves with a strong network. And you can't really afford to social distance. You can physically distance, but you have to stay social. And so we're doing that. We're just continuing to push ahead, so that our entrepreneurs and our business owners, our salespeople, have a place to connect and do referrals and do business and stay afloat, and stay not only afloat, but really even grow during this period.
Sure. A lot of businesses have grown during this period because it forced them into this Zoom thing. I know that with my Magic Brad show, sometimes it's difficult to get someone to come on and show their face. They're just kind of shy. But a lot of people are Zoomable now.
Yes.
They have the confidence. So, Travis, I like to keep these kind of short and consumable, so they're not gobbling the whole thing up in a couple hours, so we kind of keep them tight. Is there anything else that you can share, like maybe the next step with AGC, where you're going with this, because you're in these other states? when are we going into other countries? And
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Magic Brad. You're like tipping into some of the things that you're going to learn about on Wednesday. However, I'll give you a little sneak peek because you're watching the Magic Brad show today. You know, we're continuing to grow and roll out in different states across the country. You know, my role and goal is to keep us focused on the vision. And so it's adding, you know, one new state per month over the course of the next year. Yes, we may venture into another country by the end of the year. We'll see. It's because we are attracting people from other countries to our events, which is fun and exciting. I believe that someone will come to me and say, "Hey, I want to start this in Canada, or I want to start this in the UK." But the beautiful thing about what we're doing that really makes us different than anyone else is we can truly offer that community network with a global impact. And which means that you can be that small mom and pop person, that small business owner. But if you have a product or a service that you can sell anywhere, one membership price gets you access to everything that we do, no matter where we're doing it. And you can zoom into Chicago in the morning. I'm going to attend a Minneapolis event in the afternoon, and this evening I think I'll finish off in California and get into the Zoom room with all of those members and all those guests and all those locations. So
sure, you could go right along the time zones as the sun's
absolutely, yes, yeah, and that's kind of been fun too. You know, marketing and planning events that are happening in multiple time zones, and some even on the same day, which is so much fun.
Yeah, I've got some connections in Bali, Indonesia, so that's a possibility. And then I got some other connections in Costa Rica. I got a event center project I was working on down there. So who knows? We might do a mastermind in Costa Rica.
That would be fun. I would love to.
Well, I'm going to sign this off, Travis. I'm going to pop you into the green room. We've got some virtual M&Ms back there and some nice, some cocktails if you consume alcohol. I don't.
I love M&Ms.
Great.
Thanks, Brad. Thanks for having me.
Okay, appreciate you. Thank you. Peace. Well, that was our friend Travis. He's a fellow magician. He's out of the magic business, probably does a gig once in a while, but he created this thing called Accelerated Global Connections. I'm going to pop that up there again in case you don't see it. This is how you can join AGC. And if you have any questions, so go ahead and contact me or contact Travis. But appreciate you watching the Magic Brad Show. Please like, comment, and share. Get this out to the world. And perhaps we'll see you at the AGC Anniversary, second anniversary. Peace. Be well. Bye.